I live hand with my life. I stay strong, I stay wise. I live hands with my life. I stay strong, I stay wise. I live hands with my life.
Hey, our Patrice Bryant here, and I am your host for While We Wait. I am so glad you're here today. Welcome, Facebook, welcome, YouTube, and welcome to my podcast listeners. Again, I am so excited to be here today. Life is good. I know we have challenges, but life is good. I'm so glad to be alive. And I'm very grateful to be a survivor of the storm last night. Miss Ida came through here making a lot of noise, stomping her feet, clapping her hands, and giving us some drama. But fortunately, in my area, we were not hit hard. The power stayed on, which I was very, very grateful. Um, and it cooled it down some. Now that was a good thing. That's the silver lining. So I was very, very, very grateful for that. And I hope that wherever you are, you also are safe and well from the activity of yesterday, last night, all of those torrential rains like the monsoon. So again, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today is a great day. I have a wonderful guest on today, and this is this is so wonderful because I booked her after I came on last week and talked about a very serious subject matter. And it's something that we oftentimes close our eyes on, but there are some things that don't go away because we close our eyes. I'm very excited to have Miss Tina. You'll meet her shortly. As I forestated last week, on last week's segment, we are great event planners for birthdays, weddings, baby showers, vacations, etc. However, we often hop past those real live, super significant future life happenings that do not go away because we close our eyes to them. So um, I believe it's very, very important that we plan what our tomorrow will look like. What does 60, what does 70, what does 80, and even what does 90 look like for you? You can plan what you want to look like, what you're doing now. Welcome, welcome. You can plan it. I am exercising now. I am working very diligently. Hello. I'm working very diligently to strengthen myself now so that it will be useful in later years. So, looking forward is in every aspect of our lives. Uh, do I want to remain quick thinking? I absolutely do. I have to do things that are going to keep my brain stimulated. It's not just the finances, though it is the finances. We definitely want to plan, and you can start now. Wherever you are in your journey, you can start now. But I've got a wonderful lady that's coming on, Miss Tina, and we're going to have a conversation because she brings up some things that you may not think about. And when you're in the emotion of an event, you don't oftentimes have time to stop and make the best judgment call that you can. So without being emotional, right now we can make some very, very good judgments and decisions and plans. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on my girl, Tina. Hello.
Hey, everybody.
How are you,
Awesome.
Tina? So
I
glad to
am
have you.
excellent.
Wonderful, wonderful. So glad to have you with us. This is exciting. And as we were talking backstage, I had already said, I know this is going to be a part two because there is so much to this. But what you're doing is absolutely amazing. So, this is some serious stuff. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Please share, please share, please share. If you're watching YouTube, please copy the link and send it to someone that you love. because this is going to be some incredible information. So before we get into the thick of things, I want you to know that Tina is multi-talented. So she is doing some really wonderful things. She does a lot of things, but I believe we can assist her. You know, I like winners. So, and I've been in situations where I needed people to vote. So, you know, I didn't even think about it. I could have even shown one of her videos. Oh, of course, after the fact. But this is what I will do, because if I'm not mistaken, Tina, today, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the final time. Well, before that, it cuts off
for
the voting.
for top one,
For top.
and then it goes to the next round for finals.
Okay, so tell me, what are you doing? Like I see these, I so hate I didn't put it on here, but I will put it on my page when we go off. I will put Tina's video on the page so you can see. So Tina, tell us, what are you doing?
Well, you know, thank you everyone for coming to Patrice's awesome podcast and YouTube channel, and thank you for having me come on your show as well. I appreciate it so very much. So I'm a podcaster and an app developer of Your Backup Plan, and everybody says, well, what the heck is that? And that encompasses everything that you can possibly think about that might happen to you or your material goods, such as your house, and hurricanes and tornadoes like we've been talking about, and wildfires that are happening all over the world, all of that stuff. But I took August kind of off as a holiday for myself to join this competition for over 40, fabulous over 40 competition in North America. And I really felt it was important, and kind of went with me to what I had as a purpose. Mm-hmm. And it was to help people be their best self. This has helped me grow so much to be consistent, to, every single day. I know one lady messaged me and said, when is this over? They just kept seeing videos that I was doing. And I said, well, I'm going to the very bitter end. That's me. I'm very competitive. So
tell us about these videos. I so hate I didn't get it on here. Oh my God.
So I've been making 2 to 4 videos every single day since the competition started. Music videos. I did a few comedy acts at the beginning, but I found them very difficult. And my heart and soul was more into music. Okay. And I really wanted to stress people, especially during COVID time and this pandemic that we're all very sick of, that I wanted people to enjoy music. Yes. And I wanted people to remember the old songs and what they were feeling. And hopefully I can touch their heart just as much as their heart was touched when they first heard the song. Sure. So that was my goal.
So what I did see is Tina took a lot of different artists and their music. Like I saw one with Elton John and was it Doris Day, and so different styles of music. And she puts on she goes into character and she does her thing. It is very entertaining. So I'm hoping I have it on the screen where you can go to vote, and I will get as many as I can up today, because if you're on the East Coast, the first part, as she says, it cuts off at 9 o'clock. So as soon as we get off today, I will put videos on while we wait. If you're on YouTube, I will need you to
the link.
The link, I have it up. That's the link that you can vote. I have it on the screen right at the moment, and I will also put it on my While We Wait page. Well, actually, once I put her video up, it will have all of her information. But she's having a good time. She's having fun. Mm-hmm. She goes into character. She's not Tina anymore. She's the artist. So
Cher was really hard, by the way.
But you did a good job. I had to ask her. I said, well, were you singing or were you lip syncing? And she said, I was lip syncing. I'm like, wow, you can't tell.
Yeah, I've had lots of people say that your voice is really good. And I'm like, thank you.
You did good. You did good. So I will certainly put this information up once we go off the air after this While We Wait segment. So welcome again, YouTube. Welcome, Facebook. And welcome to my podcast listeners. I'm so glad you're here. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, depending on where you are in the world. So here we are. We have a very serious topic, but this is good. This is so good. And I know people may bypass this segment, but I hope it keeps coming up in the feed. That's why I want you to share it. I want people to be educated. Once you begin to, I believe what really got me wanting to do this is because I am the caregiver for my mother. And it happened so fast without preparation. So I had to run to get things in place, and still working to get other things in place because, and it's not just for the aged or the seniors. Honestly, if we could educate our youth or even Gen Zs, those that are like around 25, if they can start early, and I know we talk about this, but not just say don't spend your money all in one place, but we really need to show them how. What can I do now for my life later? And then for the millennials, as they're building their families, this is information you want to have. So thank you for being here. Without further ado, I am going to jump into this. So another good thing, it's all good. Another good thing is Tina is an author of In the Blink of an Eye. She has a story. Good afternoon. She's got a story in a book called Women of Worth. And it is, you can get it on Amazon. And I'm flying solo here today. So, okay, here we go. So Women of Worth. And it's called In the Blink of an Eye. And it's on Amazon. This is a book you want to get your hands on. I'm going to get it as well. So, and Tina has the book up right there. So I definitely wanted to. I told you she was super talented. So this is something else. All this information will be on my While We Wait page. All right, my dear. So Tina has come up with an app called Your Backup Plan. So first, Tina, why don't you give us some background? How did you even get into this and just take us on?
Absolutely. Well, thank you again for having me on. It's been a huge delight to have met Patrice. I can't thank her enough. I can't thank her enough. And all of you listeners as well. Your Backup Plan started. I'm a financial expert by trade, and I created an app because all of my clients were so disorganized and so buying so many different insurance policies and thinking that they were covered, and they might have a will, they might not have a will, and they might have a power of attorney and they might not have a power of attorney. They might do their funeral arrangements and they might not. Does that sound like everybody? Because it is. It is. And we don't, our podcast, I'm a podcaster. I've just celebrated my 1-year anniversary in August.
Congrats.
And thank you. And we talk about taboo subjects, things happen. We all have real life stories. Real life people with real life stories is what I focus on every single podcast. And it's these conversations that we have and these real stories that we deal with is when life hits us. And Mike Tyson can't say it any better than his quote is, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And that's basically what happens. Just like you, Patrice, you got punched in your mouth when you have been given now another kind of turn on your family life. When you are given a parent or a family member or friend to have to look after. So it's these moments in life that changed mine. And I had, what happened was I was in the financial world a few years back, and a girlfriend's husband called me and said, I need to take Carol in to the hospital. She needs to go in for some tests. Could you pick her up and drop her off at home for me when she's finished? I said, absolutely. So I got a call later on and said she's staying in the hospital for more testing. The next day, I got a phone call that she has stage 4 lung cancer and that she's not coming out of the hospital. Well, if that's not a kick in your hiney, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
So I decided that I would go visit her every couple days at the hospital.
Sure.
And it was scary, so scary to go up that elevator every time, every week, with the doors opening. When you stand there, I'd have to take a deep breath because I didn't know what to expect. The progression of the disease became so overwhelming from 1 week to the next week.
Sure.
She did last 6 weeks and she passed away, unfortunately. But I used to bring her a cup of tea so that she had something nice to drink at the hospital. And we'd sit together. We sat outside on the balcony one time, and it was a life-changing event for me because she said, Tina, I just want to feel the breeze. I just want to see the blue sky. And I just want to hear the birds.
Wow.
That was so crazy empowering to me.
Yeah. Things that we take so for granted.
And I said to myself, you just want to be in the present moment. You just want to be with that person who is passing away, or who is recovering from a sickness, or who is disabled and trying to recover from whatever it might be. Because if you're not present in the moment to be there for that person, it's very healing. It's healing for you as well as the other person, because you are going to have so many regrets after the person is gone. I wish I would have said this to them. I wish I would have talked about that with them. I wish I would have got their bank accounts from them. I wish I would have known where they bank. I wish.
Yeah.
So if you can look after the other stuff, all that other stuff beforehand,
Yes.
you can actually be present with the family, friends, and that person to really feel it and be present, because it's a very important time in both your and their life. And that was why I generated your backup plan app. And that was to get everybody's stuff put together in one place. And they might say, well, what do I get together? And it's all there. You just go down the list in the app and it will remind you, even notify you if you haven't put in your will yet. Are you going to? Do you need one? Or do you take a picture of it? Just put a picture of it and at the front cover and say where it is, so that your guest user that you set up in the app knows exactly where your stuff is. And for that younger generation, let me tell you, they think, well, I'm not old enough yet.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. I've had someone 80 years old tell me, oh, I don't have to do that now. And I'm like, well, I'm this age and I'm thinking about it. So, yeah, but I hear you.
Yes. There's every listener out there, there's no color, there's no race, there's no religion, there's no age to being prepared. And it even just might be, like I say to people, if you get the app, download the app, and you only do 2 or 3 sections of it, that's more than what you've had done before.
Absolutely.
And some of those sections you can pick and choose and then just do them as you wish. But it's so, so very important, because there's so many wildfires, hurricanes, tornadoes, crazy weather, disasters where people are losing their homes. And if you lose your home, you've lost all of your documents, all of your information to give to the insurance companies.
Right. Was it you that told me about the someone had their important paperwork in, what was it, in a fireproof thing?
Yeah. in one of the small towns in British Columbia, Canada, we lost the whole town in a wildfire 2 months ago. The whole town. Everybody wasn't even given 5 minutes. The fire came through and people were running into their cars and driving down the highway. That's literally how it went.
Wow. Like a movie.
And yes. So there's nothing, like, if I always say in my podcast, if you're given a 5-minute evacuation notice, you can thank God, because I tell you, we are not given 5 minutes in any emergency.
Yeah.
You know, before you get hit with a car, you don't say, hold on a second, I
No,
get my 5 minutes.
that's not how this
You know.
works. So let me just say, for those who have come on, now I just want to say welcome again to YouTube, welcome to Facebook, and welcome to my podcast listeners. I'm here with Tina, and she's talking about having a backup plan, and this is so necessary, because while you're level-headed and you're not in 911 state of mind, and she talked about being present, and please share this information. This app is good for you, but this is also good to assist you if you have elderly parents or loved ones, or it's necessary.
Friends.
Yes, absolutely. And how many times have we seen on social media GoFundMe pages for people who were not prepared? And then the burden falls on the children, the family, whomever, the spouse. So here's a way. I'm determined that when I close my eyes, and it won't be today or tomorrow, when I close my eyes for the last time, that my children will be properly prepared so that they can be present.
Yes.
And go through the emotional part, because that's just a part of life. But whatever I can do, I don't want them to have that burden on them financially, and they won't have to think hard, because the more I prepare them, the easier that will be a load off them. And just because you're 25, 30, 40, don't think, like Tina said, don't think that you're too young to think about tomorrow.
No, it happens in a blink of an eye.
It does.
And it happened to me. You know, I was in a severe car accident, and I'm still here in one piece. And that's all I prayed to God for. Whether the pieces all work right, I can't help that, but at least I'm in one piece.
Thank God. So with your app, or where would someone, well, let me back up with the app. You mentioned a checklist, and then the checklist would be different categories or different things that you need to get. And then are you uploading or downloading these documents into one place? And then is there a way to share your information with whomever?
Right. So the app is different than the program that I'm setting up. The program will be out very soon. I'm just putting the final pieces together of it. But the app you can purchase for $4.99. I mean, it's not going to kill anybody, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
But because I want people to use it. And you don't even, you know, if you're scared to put in your personal information into it, you can still take a picture. You can still get organized. You can still take a picture and say, where is it? Where did I put it?
Yeah.
And then when you set up your profile, you set up your guest user. So it could be your friend or your sister or your executor or your spouse or partner or whoever. But I want people to know where to access it. And it will tell you where are your passwords for your social media. And that's really important for the younger generation, because when you pass away, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your social media access doesn't stop
Right.
just because you died.
True.
And a lot of hackers will get access to those dead accounts and become that person. So it's really important, because there's also nothing worse than having a friend pass away and seeing their posts come up periodically on your feed.
Yes. True.
That's horrible, because it just irritates you inside every time. It's much nicer to be able to have a family member post pictures or remembrances or celebrations or anything like that to the page instead. And that is part of your backup plan app as well. The program that's coming out is called the Emerging Blueprint. And the blueprint is going to go through all 12 categories, all separately, for you to understand what kind of insurance do you have, understand your home insurance, understand your life insurance or disability policies. How do I understand what do I have and how much am I paying and when does it end? Those are the three main questions people want to know. What did I buy?
Yeah.
What do I have?
Yes.
Where are your investments? Where are your loans? Where are your mortgages? What does my 401k look like for the Americans? What do my mutual funds look like? Am I prepared for retirement? There's a whole retirement section all on its own. What kind of long-term care would I want to have? Those are all questions because everybody's different. Some people say, I'd like to go into an assisted care home. I'd like to go on a resort, or I would like to be part of my daughter's family. You know, whatever that looks like. It's to start thinking about those sections in the Blueprint program. And the family conversations are worksheets that you can just upload, print them off, and actually I'd like to have a few workshops on Facebook, probably with you, Patrice,
Absolutely.
that we're going to have a party. We're going to have a worksheet party. And it will be, let's do the worksheet with a bunch of family members and get some wine out. And let's do it and talk to Boo for, the hour.
So how far are you from one of our viewers is stating she's looking forward to this Blueprint program? Like what's our time frame? When's it going to be ready?
By the end of the year. So what I was hoping for the end of October, but my goal is before the end of December, definitely.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely come back and talk about that because that really sounds good. That really sounds good. So for the app, well, first of all, how do we reach you? I think I do have your Instagram information. Your backup _
That's
plan.
right.
Okay.
Yes. And the website is yourBackupPlan.ca. And at the bottom of the page, there's a link to your Apple Store and your Google Play Store Android version that you can download the app right onto your phone or tablet. And each part, when you join and log in, it will ask you for your information to start setting everything up. And you'll put in a guest user so that you pick that person that you want to be able to have access to your information. And you can put the information, the details of the account numbers if you want to, or you could just write in, Chase Bank, Front Street, Baltimore. Like it doesn't really matter. But because there's a huge number of unclaimed money in United States, Canada, UK, and Australia. I'm not sure about Europe, but I'm sure it's the same. But the unclaimed money keeps going up and up and up in every country because people pass away without their family, friends, and neighbors, for that matter, know where they bank.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Whether it's a safety deposit box or funeral arrangements or bank accounts or investments. It's all nice and handy to maybe even have a will and a power of attorney, but does your family know where your investments and your banking information is, or where the key is for the garage, or what kind of cat food does your cat eat?
See,
or who the vet?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So to my viewers, if you have a question or comment, this is a great time to put it in the chat so we can ask Tina. She's a wealth of information. If you can ask now, You'll also have access to how to reach her in case you have private questions. Um, yeah, Quan says good points. Absolutely, it's stuff that you don't readily think about it because except you've had to walk this out already,
Mhm.
you can't even think of it. You can't think
Yeah.
of everything. So this is wonderful. Um,
So in the Blueprint program, you will be able to, if you just give me 1 second here.
sure, yeah, yeah.
This is what it prepares you for. Everything in your whole life will fit into here, all organized. So if you ever had to evacuate, you can pick up that bunch of documents, or you can put all your documents in there, and then you can still put them in your app. So then you have backup to your documents.
That's the backup plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's very good. Very good.
Because when you're trying to figure out what do I need in my home when you have to evacuate, well, I don't think documents are really that important. I mean, you're grabbing your animals, sometimes not even your pets, and your jacket or water or, and you're out the door.
Right.
So these documents all help you get all organized, and and we even have workshops, and there's tons of a library of videos in the Emerging Blueprint program. So you can do 15-20 minute videos if you're sitting at the beach or by the pool or at home on a Sunday, and watch a few videos, and I want people to be empowered with knowledge and experience. All the experiences that I've had from clients, that's all in this program.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've experienced pretty much everything.
Okay. I believe, well, we'll definitely have to have you come back because this is more of an overview. Well, I see at least 2 more times because when that Blueprint program comes out, that's a party right there. But
Yes.
I definitely would like you to come back because now that we've given some form of an overview, um, there are specifics, and except someone has explained things to you, you may have purchased things, but you don't really know what you have. I think we need to speak more about the long-term care and what does that do for me, or what type of insurance do I have, or so we definitely need to roll this out more to educate people. Um,
Especially in knowing what they have as well as not have,
mhm.
maybe they should consider. But also to understand about retirement. That's a whole other section in itself of what does my retirement look like? Where, there's a worksheet on where my income streams are going to be. Maybe I should start looking at, well, I have a little void there. What could I put in that spot? What could I do to add to that stream of income? And it's because a lot of times people aren't talking to those financial advisors in that way.
Sure.
Because a lot of times they're trying to sell them something instead of you empowering yourself and knowing what it is that your own picture looks like. What do you want it to look like so that you can then go to some other company and purchase what it is that you want. And that's what I want to give, is empower people in understanding what it is, as well as have family conversations, as we talked about before.
Absolutely.
Really, really important. Well, Mom, what, do you want to stay at home by yourself? Or, when you can't drive anymore, what do you want that to look like?
I've already put my dibs into my son. I want a driver and a cook.
Yes.
Those are 2 important things. I want to be able to go where I want to go, and I want some great food because I'm a foodie. So Fidette says, this is excellent. Have the party soon, please. We definitely will. Let me ask you now, do you provide those types of services as far as getting an understanding of retirement, or what those, okay, this is what I have saved in my 401k but realistically, what do I need by the time I reach that life shift age?
That's right. So in the workshops that when you join the Emerging Blueprint, you'll have a bunch of videos to watch, as well as speakers that just talk, like a attorney that will just talk about the subject that you can
Yes.
actually, pull up on your own computer and watch. But there will also be worksheets, and we're going to have workshops around that where we'll have a night where we just have, 10 or 20 or 30, 40 people online, and we
Sure.
can talk about, well, what does mine look like? Well, what's this mean? And how do I make that work? And what do I put in here? So that people, because we all get a little bit of more information from each other as well.
True. We have a question. Are individual appointments available?
Yes, through the Emerging Blueprint, there will be consultations that you can either be on Zoom or a phone call.
So we're waiting until 2022.
Well, hopefully before then. Let's hope for October, but
we'll be knocking at your door.
yeah.
So the answer is yes. Soon come. Soon come. You are welcome. Any other questions at this time? I mean, this is like a broad subject, and there's just so much to it. And even if you don't remember now, if you think of something, let me put Tina's information back up. I have her Instagram. You can reach her on Insta, your backup plan. If you remember your backup _ plan, if you remember your backup plan, you're good to go.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah, your backup plan .ca.
And the podcast is your backup plan on all the platforms. The YouTube channel is your backup plan.
Okay.
So you can watch all of the shows alive as well. And we'll be advertising on there for the workshops.
This is great. And you'll let me know, and then I can let people know.
Yeah, absolutely. We might even collaborate and do some together.
Oh, listen, I would love it. And I'm certain other people would definitely be interested, whether it's on this platform or if it's on a private Zoom. This is so necessary because, again, we close our eyes and act like life is not going to happen, but life happens. And sometimes it happens without permission really fast. So this is good. And
in the blink of an eye.
It does. In the blink of an eye. Yes. Let's remember that since she said it, the book is called Women of Worth, and in the blink of an eye is Tina's part. And this is available on Amazon. All right, guys. And I'm looking to see if there are any other questions before we move on. She's definitely going to be back. You are so welcome. This is my sister. She said someone needed to do this. Thank you, Tina.
Oh,
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah. This is great.
It's been a long journey for me, believe me, from start to finish, but it's just getting more and more exciting. I just love helping people.
And you know what? It's so wonderful because once you educate me, then I can walk somebody else through the process. And that's a great thing. That's a really good thing. You know, we don't have these conversations.
Well, that's right. And why do we have to do it the hard way? Finding out after the fact.
And it happens all the time. Like we see it so much. We see it so much because, it happens.
Yeah.
It happens. It's inevitable. And you know what? And not to just downplay it, but death is a part of life. Transitioning is a part of life.
Or sickness. And we've all experienced that during COVID. We all know somebody that's either in ICU or who can't talk.
Or seen it on the news.
How does somebody pay their bills while they're in ICU?
That's amazing. Yeah, especially if you don't have someone trustworthy that you can give your things to. I actually went through that with a cousin. So, yeah, it's so needed. Mm-hmm. It's so needed. So, guys, I want to go back to, so now I know we all love Miss Tina.
Thank you.
So I will post her videos, and it's good to just have a good time, especially, these conversations are necessary, and we are going to move forward with those definitely. So now if we can just flip it over to something a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
Please go and vote, especially if you're on the East Coast. You have until 8:59 to vote. There's a free vote for Tina, and I will post her videos as soon as we shut down here. Let's vote for her and get her to win.
Yes.
Over fabulous, and over 40 and fabulous. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. Tina, this has been absolutely amazing, and I know we haven't scratched the surface because this is so vast.
Yes.
So you will definitely be back really soon for part 2 and maybe 3 and 4 and 5. And we pray that your brain, that the Holy Spirit just super speeds you on that blueprint, because
Yes.
people need this. It's needed.
We do.
So we pray acceleration to you for that project and for what you're doing. You are doing great work. So
Thank
thank
you.
you very, very, very much. And we will see you really, really soon.
Well, thank you. Thank you, listeners. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right, Tina, I'll see you backstage shortly.
Bye.
Now you got to give the wink.
Yeah, I always do my wink in every music video, so I'll have to do it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
See you soon, Tina.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, there you have it. I told you, this Tina is the bomb. There's so much to talk about in regards to life preparation in this area. We don't have all of the questions today. And this is a good time for you to think about, well, what if, or what, and maybe just start jotting down some questions. Tina will be back really soon, and we want to have some more great discussions around planning life, because it's necessary. You are so welcome. Please share this information. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Please share it. And I know I have seen people pop on and then it'll pop back off. It's not a popular subject, but it is a very necessary subject. So please share it with your loved ones and with your network. We thank you for it in advance. So guys, so happy that you're here. Thank you to my podcast listeners. Thank you to Facebook. Thank you to YouTube. I'm so glad that you're here. We'll be back next Thursday, 4:30. Same time, same station, YouTube and Facebook. Life is worth living, guys. So let's remain. This was empowering. So it's that part of it. Be wise. Keep enhancing your life. Be strong. Be wise. Keep enhancing your life, because life is worth living while you wait. We will see you next time. Thank you, Tina, so much for this. We can't wait for you to come back. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Be well.
I stay wise. I live here. I stay strong. I stay wise. I live here.